got to be one of the most entertaining things here lately are these college football Facebook groups. It gets wild. I mean, obviously, the fan bases are gonna go up against each other. You got rivalries all over the country, whether it's like a known rivalry or a smaller one. But I'm a member of like 2 or 3 of these Facebook groups, and according to them, every team if you listen to what's put on those groups, every team in the country is going to go 100-0 and win a national championship, and every team in the country isn't going to win another game the rest of the season at the same time. It's crazy. I guess if I would have to say to somebody new just getting into college football, if you're wanting to kind of learn about how, not the game of football is played, but how, college football relations work and different teams or whatever, if you get involved with these groups, be careful. Nothing's off limits. Nothing's off limits. I've talked in a video yesterday a couple of times about, all the craziness and chaos that's going on down in Florida. Will they keep Billy Napier? Will they not? If they don't, when are they going to get rid of him? Blah, 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 blah. Well, already today, like, I don't know how these people are doing this, but it's really impressive. Like, they're making these posts saying, "Oh, Napier's been fired," and I've seen that they've hired Lane Kiffin. I've seen that they've hired Mike Bobo. I've seen that they've hired Urban Meyer, and like they make these official looking media graphics that they post on there. And the thing about it is, people believe them. People will see this and believe them and be like, "Oh my God," No, it's fake news. You cannot take what you see in these groups as like actual, like, trustworthy news. It's entertainment. It is entertainment. That is all there is to it. And just some of the ridiculous stuff you see and the claims people make. I mean, if you've been watching college football for a day, you know that 3/4 of the people on these groups are just full of it. They really are. And hey, I'm not exempt from that. I've gotten on there and showed my butt too. But, one of the things I saw, and I've actually heard this on satellite radio too, but I've seen it online, like going back to the South Carolina LSU game this past weekend. Both teams played a terrible game. But let's take South Carolina specifically. There are people that are saying that South Carolina played one of their best games of the year, and that being the case, they're probably going to make an appearance in the SEC championship game, and at the very least, even if they don't, they'll make the playoffs. And they're saying that, with the way South Carolina played the other day, if they played like that again in any given game, then South Carolina could beat 6 or 7 of the top 10 teams in the country if they played like they played against LSU. That's the most asinine, craziest thing I've ever seen. South Carolina blew a 17-0 lead and still would have won the game if not for 2 penalties, dumb penalties, like that they did on purpose. Like, they went out of their way to commit these penalties that brought 2 pick sixes back out of the end zone. That's 14 points. And they lost by 3. But then South Carolina, a lot of their fans are going to say, "Oh, well, with the way we played, we were so good. If we played anybody else, we'd..." No, you wouldn't. You had a bad game. Their starting quarterback got knocked out of the game. I hope he's okay. I mean, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, because I have seen some horrendous injuries, and it's not fun. It's not fun, and you hate it for these guys because they're there to play and they're doing what they love. But no, the Facebook groups, it's kind of hard to resist the urge, but I have gotten on there and said stuff like to deliberately get these people going. Here lately, it's the Oklahoma fans. Texas fans too, but not as bad as these Oklahoma fans. Oh my God. Like, Oklahoma fans, like, they, according to them, new and fresh in the SEC, and they are going to tear through the SEC like wildfire. They're going to beat everybody in the SEC, win the SEC championship, and get a playoff berth like that, and nobody's gonna be able to touch them. And it doesn't matter that they've struggled in their games. Yeah, they're 3-0. So are a lot of other teams, but like, how did they get that 3-0? You know, struggled against Houston, struggled against Tulane. I mean, but you talk to them, oh yeah, it's something different. So the Facebook groups, hey, join them and enjoy them. They're a blast. They really are. You know, people are screenshotting stuff people say every day, so they can come back later and see how well it aged. Because there has been a lot of comments in several of those groups over the last couple of weeks that I've got a really strong feeling are not going to age very well. But some great games coming up this weekend. I'll try to post every day just a thought or a comment here and there about whatever. But again, some great games going on this weekend, and should be fun and entertaining. Y'all have a great weekend.